In this video, I want to share with you why it's beneficial to sometimes not practice. If you ever took a break from practicing or just from a particular piece, you know what I'm talking about. In a past life, let's say when I was younger, I used to be a flutist. I played in competitions and for me, they were always nerve-wracking. You take so much time preparing and practicing the same pieces for months. Then in the performance, you completely screw them up. And obviously, after the competition, you're not going to play those pieces for a very long time. Then after a few months passed, new concerts came up and I needed stuff to play, and because I was lazy, I thought, why learn something new when I can play pieces I've already played? So I would go back to playing the repertoire of the competition. Now people think because you haven't played those pieces in forever, you won't be able to play them very well. And you're right. At the beginning, re-practicing stuff is exhausting. You will think you terribly suck because you have to start from close to zero again and you will hate your life. Until 24 hours later, when you realize that it will take you not more than 3 more days to be able to play whatever piece again at a pretty reasonable level. 1 week later, you will be able to play those pieces even better than in the actual competition itself, and you wonder, why did I suck so much just a few months back? And this is where the power of not practicing lies. Sometimes you need to put pieces on the side so that your brain has time to learn these complex movements. It's like passive income, just that it will make you poor because playing an instrument is pretty expensive and it distracts from the time you could work. Or worse, you could decide that you want to become a musician and have even less money. Jokes aside, it actually works like passive income. You build it up over a long and tedious process, and for the next few days or weeks, while you're sleeping, your brain processes all the information and you will get better. In the next part of the video, I want to give you a few examples how you can use this to your own advantage and when you could benefit from it. Scenario number 1, you're stuck with a piece, but you have time. There is no deadline when you need to be able to perform it. I mentioned it already earlier in the video. Sometimes when you're stuck with a piece and you can't get it any better, just put it on the side for 1 week and then restart practicing. The first day it will be worse than before, but soon you will see that it works way better. I kinda made this by accident lately. I was practicing this super hard piano reduction and it felt like pushing against a wall. Somehow, very spontaneously, I got an invitation to an audition the next week. Then I basically stopped everything as I was doing at the time. Meeting friends, working out, even making videos. That's why I missed one of the weekly uploads. Sorry. Unfortunately, I had to cancel the audition. Then I was sick for 2 weeks and now I'm going back to practicing this piano reduction. And you know what? It kind of works. I have to admit, if I would not have had these other projects, I would have practiced the piano reduction for 3 weeks. That would be the best alternative. But I guess you're not a professional and you don't have the time to practice a few hours every day. You have to treat your time more wisely. If you have to learn a piece, let's say by next week, obviously practicing it now is better than waiting 5 days. But if you have the time, if there's no one holding a gun against your head, you can save time in the long run by putting the piece aside when you feel like you're hitting a wall. Practice something else in the meantime, take it back and you will see that it wasn't that difficult. Maintaining. If you want to be able to play a piece over a long period of time, the amount you need to practice to be able to play it won't be as much as if you would have to learn it completely from scratch. I recommend playing it 2 times per week, very slow and maybe once in tempo. And if suddenly you have a concert the next week, you have a piece that will just need a little bit of practicing that you can always play in a matter of a few days. Scenario number 3, you have a massive repertoire to learn. It takes a certain amount of practice for each piece to get better, but if you don't have the time, you can put the easier pieces on maintaining mode or practice them way less and focus on the most difficult pieces first. They will take the longest to learn, that's why you should start with them. Makes perfect sense, but most people don't do it. If you can play one piece perfectly, it doesn't matter if you can't play the other one at all when you have to play both. Let's say you start completely fresh with new pieces. I would still try to get all of them in my fingers as soon as possible and play all pieces at least once per week, even if I've never played them before. 4. When I played my final exam, 45 minutes of repertoire was required. Instead of learning new pieces and making my life very hard, I chose pieces already played a few times. They have been in my fingers for years and I knew I could play them pretty well, so I was confident that it would work out. When you have important concerts, play pieces that you've played in your past before, because the longer they have been in your brain and fingers, the better you will be able to play them. It's like the aging of wine, pieces take time to become great.